Meeting to order. Thank you everyone for being at the Historic Preservation Board. Happy to see everyone tonight. I understand that Margot will not be with us tonight, but she obviously didn't need a note from her mother, so she is excused. Yes? Yes? Is the microphone not working?
No, we were looking at her screen's not working.
Okay, all right. So, we'll call the meeting to order. Everyone, I'm sure, had plenty of time to read the minutes.
Sherry? I think, Sherry,
Your mic's not on.
Oh, your mic not on?
no, you're not.
Okay, it's on now. Yes? Technical difficulties,
There you go.
people. Yeah, okay, all right. So everyone had a chance to read the minutes? Anyone see any changes or corrections?
No.
Hearing none, we'll consider the minutes approved. Thank you very much. Thank you for getting those out so quickly.
Motion.
Okay, we will take a vote on that. So would anyone like to? Thank you. We have a motion. A second. A second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Ms. Hodges. Appreciate that. So I understand the discussion tonight will be, we have 3 items for discussion. But before we go into that, I want to say thank you for sending us the videos of other meetings so that we could see how they proceed, because they were very informative, even though they were not our particular area. So I don't know if anybody had any questions of either our attorney or Ms. Barlow about what you saw on the little videos of the other code meeting. Let's see, it was code, was it variance board? Yes, right.
It's fascinating.
Very good.
Very enlightening.
Yeah. I will probably be watching it again because I thought the chair did a great job of keeping everyone on track.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So we'll try to do as he did.
Crack the whip.
Yeah. Yeah, no whips. No whips will be involved. Nothing like that. Okay, so we have discussion and website. Who will lead that?
Good evening, everyone. We just wanted to go over the website with you real quick. We have set up the Historic Preservation tab with some information on there. There we go. So from the home screen, you can go to Community Development, which will bring you to our main Community Development web page. Then down here we have Historic Preservation Office. There we go. And on the preservation website, we do have a brief information about historic preservation in Temple Terrace. We also, working from the top down, we do have the ordinance. That was approved in August. There we go. So all of our residents will be able to read that. Then we have the application for designation. And this is what they will be required to fill out when they want their house designated. Then we have the application for certificate of appropriateness. It goes through the types of renovations that they're planning on doing, existing materials, proposed materials, whether or not they have a chimney or not. And then it has a checklist of things that they will need to submit for staff to review to see if it would be a staff level approval or a board level approval. From there, we have the history overview of the city of Temple Terrace. Maybe. There we go. So this was already previously on our website. We just went ahead and linked it to the Historic Preservation Office. Then we have the video that was completed a few years ago regarding the 7 original homes. And a map that shows where the historic properties are within Temple Terrace.
These are the current properties?
Mm-hmm. Any questions?
Yeah, it looks great.
Awesome.
Okay, great.
Good job.
Do we want to talk about Historic Preservation Month now while I'm up here? Okay. So next month is National Historic Preservation Month. The City of Temple Terrace will be doing a proclamation at the May 7th meeting, and we would like our whole board to be in attendance if you can, and accept the proclamation.
Okay, well, I'll check our calendars. And do you want us each individually to let you know?
Yes, please.
We'll let Ms. Hodges know. Yes or no? Okay. All right.
And yeah, so the theme of this year's Historic Preservation Month is People Saving Places. So
Okay.
that'd be very nice if you guys could accept that.
Thank you. I think the website looks great. I love the fact that that the information is there. If I were to look for that, I would see immediately that my house does not qualify.
Yeah.
So that would save me an awful lot of trouble
Yes. So,
to go into that. I mean, it's an old house, but it doesn't fit.
Yes.
Okay.
So-
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll give it a few more years.
Yes, right.
So, all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Motions, but we must be looking at you, Mr. Miller. Mr. Mueller.
Before I move on to motions, just when you do notify Marissa about your availability, just email her. Don't CC anybody else.
Okay. Okay, do you want us to let you know or to let Ms. Hodges know?
can let Jen or myself.
Okay,
We'll communicate.
okay, good.
What I'm handing out are, right now, just draft motions, but you'll get an idea how helpful they should be. Jen, one for you too. I just want to go over a few things here. Won't be long. But if we can look at the side that starts with certificate of appropriateness. You'll see there's some blanks that you'll need to, kind of fill in as you're reading the motion. The big thing is, because when you either approve or approve with conditions or you deny, particularly when you deny, you need to give your reasons for denial. And that will be, whether or not it's, if you're approving, you'll put down the reasons that you find it's consistent with the Secretary of Interior's guidelines or standards, and again, particularly important with the denial, that again, how it is inconsistent. So just be thinking about that. That's what these are for, just for you to kind of think about. Notes you'll jot down during the hearing. If you end up being the motion maker, you can refer to them, stuff like that. Right now I have it broken down for the certificate of appropriateness, one for final approval with conditions or a denial. Then the next section is if a case needs to get continued. The next one would be a motion for ad valorem tax application. Next one is a recommendation of designation to the city council, and the last one right now would be and hopefully we never have to use that one, which would be someone needed to demolish one of these structures. If you flip over, this will be for the variances. And everybody remember their variance training of last month? But again, same thing. You'll need to, you'll be reading these motions and you'll see at the very end, you have to give your reasons of, why you're moving to approve, or whether you're, moving to approve with conditions or denial. Again, we have continuance, and at the bottom, I did put down the hardship criteria that you can refer to when you're making the motion. These are rough drafts. I think they'll be tweaked before you guys get a case, but you'll have a complete one before before your first case.
Okay. And you do recommend that we use a script
Oh, absolutely.
in making a motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot at stake here, so we want to make sure your motions are complete, either way.
Everybody understand why that's so important? Any questions on this? We definitely saw this in action at the variance board meeting.
In fact, these were taken from Tampa, as I just adjusted them for Temple Terrace.
Okay. Well, I think that, and we will always have copies of this, especially for a particular meeting,
Right,
or is this sort of a,
you're gonna be handing out, like, so it'll be in there, and I'll try and get it on card stock, so it's a little firmer for you, stuff like that.
okay. Okay, then sort of fill in the blanks as
Yes.
appropriate. Okay, so when someone is discussing the motion, it's, with anything else, it's appropriate comments, not anything else. Everything has to be focused on the yes or the no
I mean, after you guys talk about.
when we're talking about it.
Yeah, before a motion is
Right,
made. type
right.
thing, yeah, which is also great, you know, you guys can throw things out for whoever's gonna be making the motion as to, you know, what you're finding to be consistent or inconsistent. It helps the motion maker, so.
And then, of course, it will always come with recommendation from staff, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
We'll either have like positive findings or negative findings.
Okay. I think that's probably something that we're all going to rely heavily on, and we should never apologize for that, because really, I mean, you know, sometimes well, we're going to talk about this in a minute, about this workshop that's coming up. It is not our job to plan those things or to do this research, which is why we should never apologize for saying, we hear what staff has said, we understand why staff has said such, and and now I'm ready to make a motion, right?
And you bring up, you know, again, a good point that's worth repeating. When you said doing research or doing anything like that, you shouldn't do any research. Everything should be presented to you at the hearing, and you base your decision on the evidence that's presented
Yes.
at the hearing.
Exactly. Once again, it's not, I think the message that came through the most clearly was, as the members would say, within our, you know, purview, this is what we can do for you. And that's that's all we can do, is the final discussion or decision or a continuation. We can always offer that. Okay, so I don't want, I mean, I know sometimes people think, oh, no, we need to get in there, we need to know more, we need to dig into this. Don't do it, exactly like you said.
And when it comes to continuances, you made me think of something else. Remember, the applicant, when they come before you, are here and they have the right to have that, their motion or their application voted up or down, granted or approved or granted with conditions. It's up to them to ask for a continuance. It isn't for you to make, say, well, we don't think you're ready. We're going to go ahead and continue this. It is actually the applicant's decision as to whether or not they want a continuance. Now, nothing stops the chair from saying, well, you hear what's going on here. Do you think you want a continuance? But it is their decision. And if there's conditions, if you guys, decide that there should be conditions on it, we should ask the applicant if they're good with those conditions before we do it.
Okay, and refresh our memory as to the rules for a continuance. There's a date specified that they will come back?
Yeah, it would, you would determine what, if they needed 30 days, it would be then your next meeting. So, it depends upon how long they feel they need. If they got to do some work on, do some redesign or anything along those lines. And then, yes, we'd want to do a date certain so that nobody has to, renotice. As long as we put a date certain in that motion on the record, they won't need to, do any other thing other than change the sign that'll be on their property.
Right.
The date.
Is that good for you? And clear? Everybody clear on that? Okay. We say that now.
Yeah, right now.
No, I, for one, truly appreciate all the education that you're giving us, because this is a completely different ballgame from what I've been used to.
Yeah, and I'll
And,
be reminding you of these things as we go through the hearing. That's what I'm here for, is to
Right.
help guide you through.
And we will be doing some historical things, no pun intended. Yes. Okay, any other questions on that? No? Then let's talk about dates to consider. Where are we on the public meeting?
Hi. So here is my thought. The mayor at the last meeting, recommended that we have hold a public meeting hosted by the Historic Preservation Board, and I was thinking about what the best date would be for that, and would give us enough time to be prepared and not get into the summer where everybody goes on vacation. So how about, this is your last scheduled Historic Preservation Board that you talked about earlier. How about the next one, on May 22nd, we schedule as our public meeting?
Will you be ready?
We will be ready. We will be ready, yes.
I mean, you led me to think you were going to say September, October.
I've already talked to Lightfoot. We can have Lightfoot on that date. That works. And it's a meeting that you all, if you were going to have a meeting, that would be the day that you would meet anyway. So your availability is probably pretty good on that date. So if you all agree that that would work for you, then we will make it work on our end.
Okay, I mean, once again, here we were talking about how wonderful it is that you're doing all this prep work, and then we say, you pick a date. No, that sounds like a good date to me. What about you?
Same time, right?
Yes.
Okay. Me? Yeah.
The only thing is we'd be meeting at Lightfoot instead of
Okay,
here.
all right.
And what will happen now if you, approve of that date, which it seems like you're going to, do they have to make a motion or no? Because it's their regular meeting?
I think it's better to make a motion, and that way the board, the board has determined that would be
Okay.
the date they'll
Okay.
do the outreach.
And who would like to do that?
I move to select May 22nd at 5 PM at Lightfoot for the meeting,
Okay, so this is our public
Yes.
meeting?
public meeting.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, Letha Bowles seconded. All right, any other discussion? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We'll see you on the 22nd.
So in preparation for this, just to give you a little idea of what we're planning, I will be sending out letters to all the owners of historic properties, the 1920s Mediterranean revival, because that's what we're focused on at this point. Later on, of course, other properties can be included. But it will be a public meeting, so we'll get the notice out on social media so that everybody is aware of it and anybody can come. Staff will prepare a presentation which will just give a brief summary, probably go over the ordinance, hopefully provide incentives, and talk about the designation process and the COA process so that it becomes more friendly. People aren't, wondering what in the world. We'll try and make the steps so they're aware of what they would have to do to come into the program. And then I've also reached out to Plant City because the mayor thought it would be nice to have some success stories. So I'm talking to the lead planner at Plant City, and she said that she thinks that maybe somebody from her staff or maybe the chairperson of the Historic Preservation Board would be amenable to attending this meeting to talk about how it's working in Plant City. So
And did you have good attendance at the first public meeting that you had?
I'd say we did. We did, yes.
Okay. So they're just waiting for us to get ready to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I think we're ready to do this public meeting,
Okay.
especially since you're going to put it together for us. Again.
Yeah, so that would be our last scheduled board meeting. After that, it's up to you when you want to meet again after the May meeting.
Okay. Well, each of you should be thinking about what kind of a schedule you want to go on, because as I understand now, there are boards that only meet when necessary. Is that true? Okay.
You will have, once we are. Once we get approval from the state to become a certified local government, you will have to meet quarterly. But until then, it will be as an as-need basis.
Okay. Okay. When do you think that, what's the process?
So I submitted the application on March 29th, and they have 30 to 45 days to respond.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean we're going to get approval first off. That means they respond, maybe if they want corrections or if they want, revisions, something. But we will get a response within 30 to 45 days.
And do they actually have to approve this board? the makeup of the board?
They certainly want to know enough about it. I don't think they actually have to approve you, so to speak, but they have to give you their blessing, maybe? I don't know. I don't think it's a formal approval, but
Okay.
they certainly want to know all about you.
They did. They wanted to know a lot about us, you know, so.
So when can people start applying then? They have to wait until that is approved.
No, they do not have to wait until we're a certified local government.
So they can do it now?
I'm hoping after this, during the town hall meeting, we will have applications for them to apply for designation. Now, we can't accept applications online. They will have to fill them out because there are documents that we need. But yeah,
Hey.
I'm hoping starting in May, we'll have.
Okay, so we could be seeing something in June?
It would be very nice. I don't know if normally, so when we do like a variance application, staff is given 2 months to prepare for that meeting. So if we do get designations, it will probably be 2 months
Okay.
to prepare everything and notice it. So we'll still have to go through our process.
You have to go and check out the properties?
I will be requesting to go and check out the property.
Of course.
Just because
Can
I
I
would like to
tag
see. So, and part of the requirement is going to be photographs and stuff for the property. So,
Right. Well, it sounds like a joyful job. I say that when you know you have a certain time limit to make sure that's what you've been given is 2 months.
we haven't actually formalized the timeline, but I'm just going based off what we do for our other applications. That's what we're given. Like, so in other applications that come through the community development department, they go through a development review committee. And then after the development review committee is okay with everything, then we say 8 weeks to council. So that's what I'm thinking is that once we get the application, it's deemed complete, then it'll be 8 weeks until I get it to the board.
Okay. And at that point, so when you say quarterly, you mean on the quarter, when the other boards meet, the state requires you to meet quarterly?
The state will, yes, once we become a certified local government, we will be required to meet quarterly.
Okay.
And if there is nothing to present that quarter, then we will do a training,
Okay. Okay.
just so we meet that requirement.
Right. That all sounds great. Okay, well, it looks like then that the agenda items for the next meeting are the town hall meeting.
So, one other, since this is gonna be your meeting, you'll be hosting this, we're gonna put a table for the board to sit up in the front
Okay.
of the room. Do you have any questions about anything else set up, or how it's gonna work, or anything like that? Any?
Are we gonna be answering questions from the public? No, right?
Staff will be more than likely
we're-
answering the
yeah,
questions,
yes.
but if the question is directed
If you-
towards you.
Yeah, if you,
I'm pretty sure they're gonna have questions.
Yes.
well, if they want a personal opinion, or if they want to know why you're serving on the board or something, those kind of questions are,
Those answers we should know.
yes.
Yeah.
But anything technical or anything, we'll be there to handle the questions.
And the word "I defer to staff" is definitely a phrase you can use. Yeah. This is exciting,
It's very exciting.
that we feel like real progress is being made. And I appreciate all the work that both of you are doing. And anybody else who you have drafted to help out. I see Mike sitting back there. I'm sure he's,
Mostly the ladies up front that do the work.
okay. Okay. Well, that's nice of you to say. And thank you, Ernie. Appreciate all that you have given to us and are still doing. So are there any other items to come before this wonderful council? In that case, I really wish we could talk for another 5 minutes. I hate to have a meeting under 30 minutes, but we will consider it adjourned. I don't think I've ever had it.